Let's take a look at number 35. And we got negative 2x squared plus 7x minus 3 is equal to 0. Now our first method of factoring is always GCF, and they don't have anything in common, but my first term is negative. Whenever your first term is negative, you always want to factor out a negative. I'll factor out a negative 1, just to really emphasize it. Oftentimes you just put a negative here, though. When you do that, just flip the sign of everything, like this. And then we're going to use the key number. X squared, x, no x, and there's a number for the x squared. Key number, we take the number at the beginning times the number at the end, so we take 2 times 3, which gives us 6. And we're going to come up with 3 columns. Our product column, we list all the products, give us 6. 1 times 6, 2 times 3. The sum column, we add those together. 1 plus 6 is 7, 2 plus 3 is 5. Difference column, we subtract them. 6 minus 1 is 5, 3 minus 2 is 1. Now the number we're looking for is a number in our middle term, which is a 7, which is right here, which means I'm going to use 1 and 6. And what we do with that is we rewrite our middle term using those 2 numbers. Now remember, our larger number in the P column, which is a 6, is always going to be the same sign as our middle term, which was negative. Now if the number you circled is in the S column, S for same sign, so if the 6 is negative, then the 1 will be negative. Now if it was in the difference column, the number I circled, then it would be different signs. 1 would be positive and 1 would be negative. Then I factor by grouping. Now if I look at the first 2 terms, they have a 2x in common, GCF-wise, and that leaves me x minus 3. My second group, last 2 terms, they have nothing in common, but my first term is negative, so we'll factor out a negative, and that leaves us x minus 3. So they both have an x minus 3, so I'll factor that out. And again, you can cross these out to see what goes in your second set of parentheses. If I cross those out, this is 2x minus 1. Now the zero factor property says you get 0 on one side, you factor the other side, you can set each factor equal to 0. If I set a number equal to 0, like negative 1, there's no x to solve for, so I can't do anything with that. So when you got numbers, you never worry about those when using this property. We'll set x minus 3 equals 0, and we'll set 2x minus 1 equals 0. And then we'll solve each one of these. So take negative 3 to the right side, becomes a positive 3. Here, take negative 1 over, it becomes a positive 1. Divide both sides by 2. And we get x is equal to 1/2. So our answers are 3 and 1/2. 3 and 1/2 would be D, as in David. So let's go check that. 35D. And that checks out.